From your hyper-local weather source, this is your Norcast Weather Update. Appliances Plus in Vineland has been serving South Jersey for 40 years with all the major brands you know. Customize and save on luxury kitchen appliance bundles built to fit your next project with Thermador's 1-2-Free program. Visit our showroom in person in Vineland or online at www.appliancesplusvideo.com.
Hey guys, thank you so much for checking us out on the Norcast Weather Channel. We are doing it again, and it's not only today, but it's going to be the rest of the week, into the weekend, and then into next week as well. I'm talking obviously about high pressure in control, bright sunny skies out there, a few fair weather cumulus clouds popping up, but that's it. Galloway, Atlantic City, Margate, Summers Point. Gorgeous afternoon to get out there, soak up the sun, and enjoy yourselves. We've got no activity anywhere near us. Thanks to high pressure, that's going to be the case for the next 7 to 10 days. No matter where you are going to enjoy the weather unless you're down in South Florida, Central Florida. Yeah, unfortunately, they've been beat up by areas of heavy rain for the past few days, but the bulk is still well down to the south and west as major hurricane Milton is going to be eyeing up the Tampa down to Port Charlotte area, and a good chunk of the state is going to see some significant impacts. In the fuchsia, or the purple pinkish area, this is where we have hurricane warnings in effect. That extends from Tarpon Springs into Leesburg, into Deltona, Daytona. Disney is covered here, Kissimmee, Haines City, so even inland, because Milton's going to be tracking along at a good clip and maintain hurricane intensity from start to finish through the state. Don't forget, Florida is relatively narrow, right? Farther south you go, the less of an impact there's going to be, okay? So major impacts from Tampa to Bradenton to Port Charlotte to Cape Coral. And even on the East Coast, there's going to be some significant impact. But you go down towards Lake Okeechobee, you go down into West Palm Beach, Boca Raton, Fort Lauderdale, you might get some tropical storm conditions for a brief period of time, but the bulk of activity is going to be to your north and west, and it looks like the Keys should be fine. Maybe some thunderstorms and some wind and some flooding, but nothing overly concerning. Milton briefly weakened to a 145-mile-an-hour Category 4 hurricane this morning. It's undergone a process called eye wall replacement, all right? We're starting to see the emergence of the eye again. It's going to be clearing out and warming up. And when that happens, I think we're going to see another push for intensity. Do we get back into Category 5 status? I'm not sure about that, but it's a possibility as the storm is still yet to go over some of the warmest water in the Gulf of Mexico. It's moving to the east-northeast at 9 miles an hour. Pressure is up to 929 millibars. Last night at its peak at 11 p.m., it became the second strongest hurricane to ever form in the Gulf of Mexico, or at least in recorded history, with central pressure down to 897 millibars. That's just 2 millibars away from Rita back in 2005. Crazy, the amount of energy. And this is translating that energy to the ocean. And that is what is so concerning because, yeah, the storm can weaken, but the wave memory from Category 4, Category 5 status is already there. So that water is going to be pushing towards the coastline of Florida. We are projecting it, or at least the National Hurricane Center is projecting it to maintain Category 4 strength through tomorrow morning. I think that these numbers are just a little bit low. I think we flirt with Category 5 again, but we'll see. There's going to be some wind shear just before it makes landfall in the Tampa Bay area, and that should weaken it a little bit. They're going with Category 3. I'm thinking that we can't really commit to that, especially if it strengthens a little bit more than anticipated for today. It'll maintain that energy and perhaps only allow it to get knocked down to a 4. It's not going to be making landfall as a 5, but I think a weak 4 is doable here, unfortunately. So the track right now brings it right through Tampa and then ejecting off the east coast of Florida, still as a Category 2 hurricane as it's in the middle of the state. So this is going to be bringing a wide array of effects, but no impact to the Carolinas, to Georgia, and certainly not for us here in South Jersey either. It will escape harmlessly out to sea. Now, the intensity here, the forecast models, that's kind of what is giving me pause to say, okay, I'm all in on it becoming a 3 at landfall, because a lot of the guidance is trying to hang on to category 4 intensity. So we will see how that all plays out. Very, very warm water down here, 85, 87 degrees. And that's where Milton is still going to be coming across on its way into the Tampa Bay area. So be aware of that, all right? Further intensification is possible before it hits the wind shear. We have the rain. This is not associated with Milton. This is another area low pressure that's been battering South Florida for the past couple days. But here's the storm. This is early tomorrow morning. Any rain and thunderstorms that break out ahead of it could be tornadic. You're likely going to see tornado watches posted in the middle of the night that'll cover into tomorrow morning. But the eye well down to the southwest. This is 2 o'clock on Wednesday morning, meaning your heaviest winds stay offshore until later on in the day. Now, I have a concern. Yes, I see the National Hurricane Center track that is just to the south of Tampa, which is good news right now. But don't let that give you a false sense of security, because these strong storms have a tendency to wobble to the north a little bit more than forecast, and the models don't really do a great job of picking up on that. So while the official track is better for Tampa, I'm not letting my eye off of this, because it is possible that it goes right over or just to the north, as some of the guidance is indicating. So we'll see. But at any rate, you're going to get some very tremendously heavy rain into Orlando, Port Orange, up into Gainesville, into the Villages area as well. Less rain on the southeast side of this. It's always the north and the northwest side that gets the heavy rain, but you could still get some tornadic thunderstorms developing in the afternoon and evening hours tomorrow into your Thursday morning as well. So we're looking at 110 to 120 mile an hour gusts, Tampa, Bradenton down to Cape Coral, and then 70 to 90 mile an hour gusts in the orange shaded area. So as the storm weakens, the wind field actually expands, and you could end up with a 150 or 200 mile radius where hurricane force winds are seen. So we'll keep you updated through it all, of course. We'll be here every step of the way. For us here at home, it's a boring pattern, but we will take it because we see what the alternative could be. Have yourselves a great day, everybody.